Oh, I can just tell you beam with joy talking about them. Like, what makes you the most proud as a mom of just three daughters who are just their own athlete, that you're not trying to make them into anything, but that just find their passions? Like, how proud does that make you?
Oh my gosh, it makes me so proud because something that I try to always tell my girls, and that we try to instill as a culture, at Penn too, is that you are a person first. Like, you are you first, and you have so many strengths and qualities and goals. Softball is a part of that. Like, softball is something you do. It's not who you are. Like, I'm not, Coach Zachary, the softball coach. Like, I'm a mom, I'm a, educator, et cetera. Like, I always try to instill in my athletes that you are so much more than just this game. This game is a piece of who you are, not the other way around. And so I think that's, I'm proud that my girls have bought into that. I think they're strong, independent young women who are going to do a lot of really great things beyond the game. We really try to separate the softball from just mom and family. Softball is something that we obviously do and is a huge, significant part of our family, but it's not all we do. We like to travel. We like to just hang out, watch movies, be, in the pool, go to the lake, things like that. And I try really, really hard to just be mom after every game. I try not to talk about the game, to harp on them. I don't push them to practice. So, of course, every now and then you're like, hey, do you want to go? I'm going to go to the field. Do you want to go? But they drive that. And I'm really proud of that too, that I don't have to motivate them or stay on them or be coach at home. Most of the time it's them dragging us out because we're like so tired ourselves, saying, hey, will you go throw more to me? Or Dad, will you catch me? And, that's on them. And I think that's the work ethic that's been instilled in them. And I'm proud of that. I want them to be hard workers. I want them to be internally motivated, but I also want them to be kind people. And I want them to try everything. Don't just do softball, do lots of different things. So,
yeah, I think that is so valuable because there's a lot of my listeners are parents and coaches at the same time, just like you. And a big question is like, how do you separate it? And I think you just said that beautifully. It's like you learn how to have things that you do as a family aside from softball, and you don't talk about it, and you're just mom. Do you ever have to say, hey, mom hat's on right now, like I need a break from softball real quick? Do you have to ever pull that card?
Absolutely. You definitely have to do that for sure. There's times where like, I'll even have to look at my assistant coaches or my husband and be like, I've got to turn it off for a little bit. Like, I need a day that is nothing, no softball, anything like that, and intentionally make that happen because, I constantly have phone calls or emails or recruiting different things and stuff like that are always going on all year long. And so turning it off is really hard. I've said this before, but I honestly think being a high school coach, especially at a school like Penn, is a full-time job in itself if you do it right and you're fully committed to your players and your program. So when I say program too, that's not just my 30 kids that play for me every given season. It's the middle school kids, it's the little kids, it's everybody that we're trying to work with. And also I work really hard, and sometimes I'm good at this and sometimes I have periods of time where I'm really bad at it. But I try really hard to stay connected with alum too, and make sure I'm checking in with them and that they know that they're still important to me. I see them, that your family's beautiful. I have players with kids. I have, players still playing and all kinds of things. So I try really hard to stay connected with them as well.
Yeah. I mean, you're all over Twitter, like reposting some of your former athletes and even athletes that you do have, like, hey, keep going. I think that's just amazing. And I wanted to talk to you about trust. And it seems like you putting your family first and being a mom first and making sure your players like know that about you. I truly believe that's a reason why your players would do anything for you. And when you are hard on them, because you don't build a program that's super successful without some of those moments, but when you are hard on them, they're like, yes, I will run through a brick wall for you. And I think that trust aspect is huge. So